Hello everybody, people that have joined or are willing to join down the track. I'll give it a few minutes, just seeing a few people online, and then we'll start. I have this 4K screen in front of me, and I might put one or two charts on it, and talk about Bitcoin dominance, scenarios for Bitcoin, key levels, and my thoughts on price action or decisions. Not just talking about it, but also deciding what to do. I will be also talking about the alts as well. I'll be quick with the scenarios, and then if there's any questions, I'll answer questions online. Now I'll need to make sure that YouTube's working. So for people who have lagging on TradingView, YouTube might be a better position. So let me have a look at YouTube and what the link is. Okay, there we are. So I am on YouTube, and that's the channel there. So I am on YouTube, and that's the channel. I'm going to just mute that one. There we go. Put in the description. It's a question. Okay, here we go. Put it on the YouTube in the description. I'll leave the YouTube link. Give it a few minutes, and then hello to Vitaly. Give me a few minutes. I'll grab myself a drink, and then wait for people to just come online, and then we'll start. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Just for those people who aren't sure, there's a little opportunity with the alts. They're starting to rally. Doesn't mean it's going to last long. Just means there's an opportunity to jump on the alts at the moment. Looking at Bitcoin, let's start with that. Let's zoom in. So it's a good sign. So this is a 4-hour chart, and we did expect support to be at that level. I had this grey line for a while. It's been proven to be support, and you can see on the 4-hour the wicks. So there's been buying pressure. So it's likely to go up from here. And that's why maybe the other alts are doing the same. But how long will it last is a question. So let's look at the scenarios. There's a few. I actually found from a reference this blue one, this blue line on the daily. You can see it's done a real good job picking those points, hasn't it? And now we're below it. So that's going to act like resistance for a while. So we need to break that. So I still feel we're going to be here for a while, just going sideways, and maybe the alts will rally while that's happening. And depending on the alt that you pick, it will have its own story. Not every single alt will be going up. You need to pick the ones that make sense. Now this blue line is the 10 weekly weighted moving average. So it's the WMA. You hold on, second week in a row, some crazy stuff going on. Your mic sounds like you're only 20 meters away from it. Okay. Is this better? So I've got to stick it right now. I haven't got the best mic. I don't know why it's not working. Sometimes it does. So I'll hold it next to my mouth and hopefully that's a bit better. Now what I'll do is I'll bring down the music a bit. Okay, that's better. Okay. So with the log off, so I take the log off settings and I have this channel. So let's what I'll need to do is tell someone that I'm online. Just give me a sec. Disable notifications. Okay. What I want to do is highlight that channel pretty clearly and reinforce that message that we've broken that level. So it's a significant level. You can't ignore it. Once we've broken that channel, the reason why I'm not sharing the browser, but I'm sharing my screen, is I'm going to put some reference points in there. It comes in handy to show you some of the charts and potentially what the behaviors are. So I'll get something on the internet that makes sense and then reference that so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. I've got to find it. Where is it? Cool. Got some here. Actually, someone's done a good job. No, that's not the one. Just give me a few moments. Here's a good one. Here's the one I was looking at. That should make sense of it. Unfortunately, let's see if I can take a picture of that. So basically, we need to look at this. We've pretty much had this scenario where we're going up in this channel, points of pivot, points of support, and we didn't get to touch the top. So we have this scenario here, and you can't deny it. And now we just did this right here. We've broken that. So it does look like we've broken that, and what it means is what we're roughly doing right now is this level here. We're looking for that as support, that level, correlate to this level here. And what we want to see is price go up and find that resistance. So my expectation is pretty much similar, that we will go up. It'll be ideal, depending on how high it goes. I don't think it will go to that level. So this black line here is the neckline, and I think that will be more likely to be the rejection spot. But there might be a possibility, there's two possibilities, where we can touch the trend line. And if price wants to break that trend line decisively, we'll definitely use that as support and then can go on. How likely is that? I give it 20% for that scenario. I really don't think it's going to happen for a number of reasons. So let's look at those reasons. So that's the scenario that I'm looking at the moment with this bounce. This came down to the 20 moving average, or weighted moving average, and that's the 10. So the 20 weighted moving average was roughly our support area, which equates to the 10 moving average on the EMA. And what we're looking here at the moment, it's not a strong rally, is it? Like if you to look at the others, you see there's decisiveness in the bounce, and here too. So I'm looking at this possible scenario, not all the way down, but I do believe we're going to have down and down, and then a bullish divergence somewhere, that which equates to this level here. So that's a point of reference. That's for first support target. That's our target. Because we broke this, that was our target. We got it by the wick. It will retest it. That's my opinion. So what happens to the alts? Well, that's a different story. But at the moment, this is what I believe, that we broken this long-term channel. So it's been a long term, and every time we touched it, we had 4 touches actually. So it's very significant to break that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one we break through. So you can't ignore it. And therefore, this channel is definitely a resistance, and it's very unlikely to go above it. So what happens when channels are broken? They go down for target. They go for their target zones. So we have that pivot point, we have this pivot point, and we have the root. Right? So the one down there is very deep, and I don't think that's where we're going, but you can't dismiss it. But I do believe this is, for 42K to 45K, is a likely scenario. And why I say that is by enabling the 20-week moving average, which that is it, EMA, and I've talked about why that's likely to be. But let me get rid of that. So the scenario that I look at is pretty much resistance there, coming down to this path. So this is coming down to this level. How quick? I've got no idea. Time frames I can't measure. I'm not good at predicting time, but I do like the idea that this is going to pull back to the weekly 20 moving average, and we found that the 10 daily weekly or the 10 weekly EMA is currently in play. So this is the other one. So the orange one was the 10 weekly. So you can see how many moving averages are playing the role at the moment. The weighted one, the 10 weekly weighted moving average, played the support, and now the weekly 10 EMA is playing the support. And historically, it doesn't play a role. So that's what I'm seeing. We'll have that bounce, as I said, and then we'll break through. That is my opinion with this scenario. So make the most of it, really. Do not go greedy and think, oh, it's going to go up. Don't be afraid to sell and buy the dip. This is going to go sideways for some time. It's a big, like, for those who haven't seen it, the previous videos, this is a big macro formation that is going to go sideways, and it could possibly, and you can't dismiss it, it could possibly be the topping or distribution formation. So I can bring I'll give you an example what the distribution might look like. If you know Wyckoff distribution schematics, that will give you a clue. So I'll bring a picture of that. Give me a sec. This is of someone on the internet that's made the effort. And well, so we've done with that chart. Here's the Wyckoff formation. So if I was to align that, so this is basically Bitcoin at the moment, and our price level is here as support. And so Wyckoff distribution, this is all-time high. We are likely to get the retest and then come to this zone here. Okay, so this is the bearish version of distribution, Wyckoff distribution. So it's not a good scenario. And if you look at the internet, you will find that a lot. So let me pick one on the internet. Let's pick a Wyckoff distribution. For those who don't know what it is. Schematics. Where are we? This is the one. It's a well-known, well-documented picture. That's accumulation. Here we go. That's the distribution. Now, if I was to clear all that, can you see that being aligned in any way? The phases. This one is trying to attempt that. Makes sense? So this is the bearish scenario where it is a topping off for formation. We had the all-time high, which is over here, retested, and now we're going to go to phase E. So we're in phase D, and we might go into phase E. That's the worst case scenario. I don't think this is the case, but you can't rule it out. So we need to see what happens at 42K to 45K. Having said that, we'll bring another chart. Show on that. The reason why I don't think it's the case is historically we talked about the 20 weekly moving average and its role in a bull market. So in a bull market, if we went with the wick off distribution, we'll go down to 29K or 30K. And I don't think that's going to be the case. So if we look at historical chart, let's get Bitstamp. Let's get the logging enabled. Let's go back to 2017, which was the bull run. Okay, so the black line is the weekly 20 moving average. I'll just get rid of some of that. Let's see. No, we don't need that. That played a role. And that played a role. So what's this red one? Oh. Okay, we don't need that one. So the 20 weekly moving average, we revisited this before. Actually, that's a weighted one. This is the 20. Yeah, that's the one. So the 20 weekly moving average. If we're in a bull run, and if this was to be wick off, then it should go down further. So we've had that revisit of the 20 weekly moving average historically, and the way it's lining up is potentially that's where we're going. The 10 weekly moving average, you can see, had bounces. Like if we were to go closer, if you look at this scenario here as a fractal, we currently have this roll. Currently, this is what we're having. Our prices hit this level on the 10 weekly moving average, and you can see the bounce. And the bounce, so here we had the weekly, the 10 weighted MA playing its role. And then when it dropped, it went to the 10 weekly EMA, and it found the blue resistance and went down to the 20 EMA. Hopefully that's not confusing. There's a few terminologies there. And so this fractal, in my opinion, the way we just broke that trend, so we had that trend, but this one's obviously a different type of formation, but we had that trend, we broke that trend, and the first target, so it actually hit its target there, and then went down. So that's a bit steep, but the formation is still applicable. Here, the 10 EMA didn't come at all into it, so we can't use those as a reference. And if we look here, we have this, where the 10 weekly WMA played support and price continued up. Does this look like that was a double top? And you can say that trend was broken. This price came all the way back to the root of this formation. So that matches. So that's not like, and then the rest is parabolic. So the only reference that we have that's similar is this one here. The rest hits the 20 weekly moving average, but nothing similar to in the formation. So let's go back to our current day price. So what we had historically on the way up, the 10 weighted moving 10 weekly WMA played a role here as well. You can see it played a role here and there. I'm not sure if that's clear enough. Okay, even here it's very close. Here definitely, but here we've broken it. So that's why I'm thinking this is going to be resistance. And if it does break it up, it will use the trend line or the horizontal level as resistance. If it breaks those two levels, we're back to bullish. Now, if we were to get the RSI on the weekly, let's put that in, and it'll show you why we're a bit bearish. So this is the daily. Let's pick the daily out. So the RSI on the daily, if this was 50%, let's get the 50% level. Let me put the 50% on the RSI. A few times we've dipped below it actually on the weekly, on the daily, sorry. And so it's really hit that support level. So that is our support level on the daily RSI. So we're getting that support there. That's where we're getting the bounce as well. The RSI is pretty good, positive at that point. If I was to demonstrate why we're falling down. Now, if this is the daily RSI and if price was to go back upwards, well, we're going to have a potential, that is definitely going to be a resistance on the RSI and potentially go, and another bearish divergence kicking in. So we're going to keep an eye on that one as well. When price bounces, we need to see where it's going. But you can see in many cases here, when price hit it, it didn't quite go up. And it just came back down and then hit that line. So I do think this is relevant on the daily for the RSI. So we need to use that as a means of gauging where the resistance level is, and if it correlates to the horizontal or the downward or the up slope, that's where we can gauge as well. Now let's look at the weekly RSI, and you can see significant bearish divergence on the weekly. So what I want to do now, I'll just delete all this so I can always bring it back. Looking at the weekly, that's our weekly resistance. Sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, it's good to look at the weekly chart. You can see this was green yesterday. It was going green and now it's turned red. Let's focus a bit more closer. And you can see the weekly 10 WMA is currently acting as resistance. We've got a week to figure this out, but it is most probable that this is going to struggle to go above it. We might have a week or two, but as I think, we're going to go down south. So let's look at the weekly scenario. If I was to put the weekly chart from, you can say from here, that was our trend, right? And we broke it. Yeah, so we can actually say this is the weekly. So if we count the weeks, if we count that week and that week, that is the weekly. So let's look at that. So the week there and the week there, and we can use this trend for the weekly. So this formation is bullish or bearish. And if we enable, not that one, so where are we, the 10 weekly moving average and the 20 weekly moving average, that pretty much it there. We can see, number one, bearish divergence on the weekly. And to go bullish, we need to see this weekly RSI go back above this trend. We need to see it go above. This will tell us that we're back in the game. If the RSI was to ever come down So how do you use the RSI? Here's another one for you. People think it's oversold, overbought, and you might use it there in that way, but the main thing about the RSI is about changing trend. So if the RSI breaks a 50%, it is a changing trend. And so you can see the bull market's got a long way to go before we change trend. So we can't say the bull market's over. It needs to come all the way down here below it. And if I was to give it an example, let's do that. Let's go back. 50%. This is when the RSI accepted that we're in a bear trend. Roughly there. That's when the bear trend started, or the bear market started, when the RSI, the weekly RSI lost that 50% level. So if you compare it to now, you can't. It's got a long way to go, right? But it's something that you need to keep an eye on. So this trend is what we need to break to go bullish. So on the weekly, currently it is going south. So it's probably, you can say that it's broken. See that level there, previous top? That was a previous top. You can see how we just dipped below it. And we're going to go down south, but how much? And that's why we need to see this RSI, which represents a trend, or the support trend, supporting slope. If it breaks that, then we're fine. We're back into the game. So here's another level of confirmation when we're back on. So we might have a pullback. I don't know how deep it's going to be. And what I'm currently seeing is pretty much, maybe that's the scenario where we get a rejection and then we go back up based on this wedge. So we've seen that similar here. So if we were to do that, you can say, I'm just using the RSI at the moment, that's when we went back up. So that was the bottom. And when it broke that trend, that's when we went up. Obviously, we didn't go up enough. That's a 10K strong resistance. But you can see how I'm using the RSI at the moment. Okay, that was a long-term resistance, and when we broke that, that's when we went bullish. So this trend was significant for this run, and obviously this level, 50% level, was the bear market. And when okay, here's another one. Let's see when we broke that 50% level, what happened? See that 50% level? What happened? Bull market. Well, that was bullish, right? So that was a significant level. Can't get it perfectly on it because it's blockish. And that candle pushed it above the 50%. Now it's a changing trend. And we went bullish. So the 50% on the RSI on the weekly is very important. But that's a long-term view. And so for us to even consider that we're in a bear market, we've got a long way to go. Okay. So let's look at the daily. So these RSI ones aren't going to help us now. So let me just go to the RSI area. All right, here we go. I can hide all that. So that's weekly. Bit of a tutorial, isn't it? So here we go. You can see the bearish divergence. So on the daily, we have that trend. And on the daily we have, you can probably say, in a way, that is a trend as well. Right? How likely is this to go up and then touch and drop down again? So if we were to look at that, What happened to my music? I didn't stop it. Too quiet. Oh, my volume went off, that's why.
Battery 100%.
Okay. So in the correlation, the alignment with RSI with, it's a bit loud, the RSI, the price action correlating with the RSI looks like it's very well aligned and easy to read. So we can see that slight curve, like if you had the daily on yours, you can see this is, let's maximize that, you can see that is curving, finding support at the current level. And the bounce is not going to be too high, is it? If price was to break this level, oh sorry, if the RSI was to break this level, then I'll say we pretty much would have broken that level here, or that top level there, if that was to go above. So we're going to keep an eye on that. My thinking is that that's going to be a selling point, and then we might get a bullish divergence, and then go up. Okay, so we can find analogies or similarities to that. So if you were to look at this scenario here, and if you were to look at when we broke that level, we went bullish, and see how price just kept going. So that was confirmation that that was a triangle there, which was an expanding wedge formation on the RSI. And you can look at for many examples on the daily on the RSI that will help you there. Here's another one. When we break that level, what happened to the price when we break that level? It went up a few K up there. So this is my thinking here. This is resistance. Here there was resistance on the way down, and when it broke it, price went up. So we have resistance on the RSI on the way down. If price breaks this, go 100% in. I'm looking at that spot to sell, and I'll keep a closer eye on it on the 4 hour to see the rejections. There'll be evident sign there is rejection. Okay, so that's what I have at the moment with this configuration. Now let's explore another scenario. So we've covered the weekly, we've covered the daily channel. So let me open the same chart without the deletion. Let me close that. Yep. Is that my chart? Yes. Okay, so now, so that's where we are today on Bitcoin. Give me a sec. I'll get rid of that. And you can see my fib levels on the current price action. Here being 1, top being 0, you can see price is pretty much responding to the fib levels as well. So the 0.5 Fibonacci level is resistance. This fib level is support, and the currently 0.618 is the middle layer. And price is not either up or down above it. It's pretty much right on it right now. So it's the determining factor, isn't it? If we kept doing it, if it kept on bumping and getting rejected, then we know that's going to go down. But at the moment, it's right on it. So we're looking at the micro level. If I was to just move that away for the time being and just have a look at that. Okay, that is a Fibonacci perfectly on the small time frame. and we had a wick. It's pulled back down and slightly above it. Yeah, so I can't really tell you much at this point. What we have, if I expand this on the, what is this, the 30-minute, you can see why there was a bit of a bullish move. That was resistance, and so we had our count there, really. So the target is here, the red section. So price will come up to this level now. That's my belief. Based on this structure, price will go up to here, and then we'll see potentially another rejection or continuation. So this is the initial target, and you can see the wick touching it, because the way this works is based on this line and the touches, the pivot points. And so we had a resistance here with this candle, rejection, and then we broke it. And now we're going up. First touch was this level, first target, second target is here. So price is going to go roughly to 57K. So that's what I suppose the alts are moving as well. I'm happy with that, and I took Neo in the trade for that one, and Link. I didn't get to have a chance to look at the others anyway. Now let me look at the comments while I take a drink. Yeah, the wick off. I just went over that. So the wick off, the price that looks like wick off is this one here. You're saying this one here. So that is possible based on Fibonacci numbers. Was added in the because people like it. No, okay. Everyone has an opinion. All I'm doing is looking at what the chart's telling me with the fib levels. And I did show the dead cat bounce scenario where if price drops and it doesn't go past a 0.5 Fibonacci, it's a dead cat bounce. And so this is going to be our strong resistance level. And if you look across, it's got confluence. So if I was to bring this up here, you can see it's actually this level here. I think that's more resistance. But anyway, so if I was to get the 4-hour chart there, because the other small time frames have too many wicks. So realistically, this is, based on this chart, I think that's more of a resistance level there, because the body of the candles on the 4-hour, we have many affiliations on that line. Even going up and going down is all support, resistance, support. So this level here is significant. So what's the price there? I'd like to know that one. 57,000. It's not a line. It's not the perfect line. So let me get the other one that's really straight without this horizontal line. So if I was to get the horizontal line, okay, that's it there. And that is 57,000, close to 200, 57,200. So that is the main resistance, in my opinion. And that is a target, actually, when you look at that, right? For this structure, that is a target. As I said before, on the 30-minute, there you go. So it's perfectly on it. So that is the target, and we will get a rejection. So it's not the 0.5 Fibonacci, it's that target there. Can we extend that to that point there? Yes, we can. You can say that's overperformance, and the Fibonacci, 0.5 Fibonacci could be the other resistance. But at this point, looking at all the other formations on the 4-hour, I see this red line, 57,200 as the main resistance. Price is going to go up. So let me just place my order for other stuff. I don't want to miss out. Let me see a good entrance. Let me look at Ethereum. Probably Ethereum will probably move too much, hasn't it? So if I also look at Ethereum, Just, what are you doing, Ethereum? Ethereum's doing what Bitcoin's doing, really. Support, resistance. I think Ethereum's a bit more advanced. So Ethereum's found support there in a few weeks on the 2-hour, that is. Now you can see that was a bullish candle engulfing that and pretty much halfway. So that's why we're a bit bullish. I'm going to place one. I don't care about. I won't put a too big order, but I'll definitely place an order there. Neo's doing well. Now let's see Ethereum here. Just hold on with me, guys. All right, let's see what we're saying. We will likely see a rejection from 57k 200. 57k 200 is my opinion, and a retest, and then back up to 60k. Yes, yeah, that's what I think. So if I was to go over that, so this is a reversal cycle taking place, and let me just get back to you. Let me just place this order. Money is money. Why let that go? Where are we? So what's Bitcoin doing right now? A bit of a resistance there at that level. I doubt it will come back down to retest, but I'll just hold because I do believe we're going to go up to here. So there's not much money involved in there, so I'd rather get that move. What about Palladium, please? Palladium, okay. Do a high leverage, small money involved. I suppose what small money means. I'm not going to go long until I get more information as things are going moving forward. Yeah, the MACD looks good for on small time frame. So if we look at the MACD, so you can use these indicators in a number of ways. The MACD just shows you, I suppose, divergences and convergent. So you need to use that. You can use the MACD as a trading method, and there's stuff out there on the internet where you can look at, depending on the trend, you can look at the MACD when it goes up below and crosses over, and you can buy then. But what I'm going to do now is, so what we have is a 30. I'll look at the 1 hour, and you can see on the 1 hour the MACD is pretty much going upwards. And that I think that there's a, here we go. So there's a bullish divergence there, okay, with the histogram. Hence, price is bouncing, and that's going to level off. This is going to be a leveling off area. So price will just, for short term, find that as resistance, and if that's the trend line, it might just, it's going to either go directly above and then pull down, or it's going to go down, test this, and then go up. So here's a little support level, So this is the micro area. While that happens, the alts. So we're going to have some crap that's going around there sideways, and this is when the alts are going to start rallying up. So it's a good time for the alts. And then if you look at the, and when we look at it, we'll look at the Bitcoin dominance. This signal here tells you about a change in trend in a small time frame. So it's gone above 50%, and that's telling me the trend is going upwards. If we look at the 4 hour, there's a change. The trend hasn't changed really on the 4 hour. What we want to see on this indicator. So if we look on the 4 hour, this indicator is crossing over. It's approaching the 50% level. So my 50% level on this one is that middle there. This will tell us on the 4 hour if the change in trend is imminent. So it's approaching it, and we'll need to see above, but it won't be last. So this is a 4 hour trend that we're looking at. And on this indicator, we just see momentum moving up, which complements what I've been saying. So small term, and if I was to guess, we've got that line there for now. And if this was and I'll say if this was resistance, price will hit at it, and I think that's what's going to happen. It looks like that's what's happening in place. So yeah, you might want to just close your long there, buy your long there, and then ride it to the top. So there's a bit of money to be made here, I think. Could you please do a quick look on XRP? Okay. All right. So I'll leave Bitcoin for now, and we'll come back, and we've got a few requests. I think I've answered the questions. This is now. I did say before yesterday that if I was to go bullish, this could be the potential new trend line. Okay. If I was bullish, this could be the new trend line. So we had this trend line that broke. This could be a scenario where this is the new trend line, and there's no way of confirming it except from there to there. So if price was to go up and get rejected somewhere around this level and it comes back down, and if we see support on this trend line and it bounces off it, then this is a valid trend line, and then I'll become bullish. Then we see, and I did mention yesterday, that we want to see something, price eating away at this level with lower highs. So that will give me confidence that this type of act is really chewing away at this 61,800 resistance level. That's what I see. So this is a bullish scenario, and we can't say much. It's just a theory. And so price comes down, and we see it being supported, and it's probably at this Fibonacci level. That's where most likely what's going to happen, and there's confluence with this trend line. I would like to see a bounce here, and if it goes down, well, then this is most likely first target and second target. If we don't hold there, price is definitely going to come down, bounce, and then we get our A, B, C correction. And so 45,000 is again confluent with the 20 moving average. So that's a scenario that I played out, and let's check the coins. All right. So next, what have we got? I'm interested in XRP because actually, let's look at Dodge. Dodge is just fascinating me. So let's look at Dodge. Dodge is bullish than most. Okay, here we go. Far out. Look at that bullish formation. You're kidding me. This is not going to slow down. trick of the thing. Now, hold on. Is that a reversal or is that a continuation? So this is all-time high. I think that's it, all-time high for Dodge. We'll get a double top. I think so. Then we'll get a rejection, probably to that level, to the apex of this triangle. This will be a strong support level and potentially going up. Call out number, pal. Hard to see. Okay. All right. Let me do. All right. What I'll do from now on, I'll call out the numbers, and what I'll do is instead of calling them out all the time, I'll just get the coordinates and I'll just put them in text format, and you can see it. So that's roughly there, yeah. And let's get this apex level, which is about $40 cents, really. So this apex, which probably matches that level there, that previous high there. And that apex is actually that number here. Okay, so you can see those numbers. I can't believe I saw this breakout. I did the trade there and I forgot about it. And I thought, nah, this is going to keep diving. And look at that. It's just ridiculous. And if they're saying that Elon Musk is going to make it go to $1, it might. He might just do that. What a crazy thing, man. I haven't seen anything like that. I used to laugh at the XRP people for dreaming that's going to go to, I've got a friend that thinks it's going to go to $10. Some crazy thing, you just put that in his number in his head. Where we get $10 from? Got no idea. But some people won't listen. They're unique XRP people. Okay. All right, now, so yeah, I see this bullish. I see this breaking above, getting resisted at that level, and pulling back and potentially continuing on. Well, it really depends on what Bitcoin's going to do, right? So right now, I see a bit of a struggle here. Let's see what the MACD is saying. Oh, no, it's going to probably drop. The way it looks like on the 1 hour, it's a bit of downward momentum here on the 1 hour. So let's see what happens in the next few hours. But that looks like it's going to break to the downside. So that's what it looks like. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it might come there and then down, most likely. Let me look at the 2 hour. Let's see what the 2 hour says. Still downward pressure. 3 hour, downward pressure. 4 hour, downward pressure. So yeah, it might not get there. And if we were to clear all that, look at the candlesticks on the 4 hour, yeah. So yeah, downward pressure for time to short. One of my colleagues once, or friend, once dodged to die. He just wants to see people get punished for backing something like that. Yeah, that looks bearish. So we've got 42 minutes for this to close, and we've got to see how my line went pink. And it's coming on and off. That's the MACD crossing over and not crossing over. So that's why I put that in there, because now it's stopped crossing over. So there is a bit of a battle right at that line. I don't want to miss that, really. That would be a good shorting opportunity. So let me just put that there. And if I just get if it breaks below that line, time to short So Dodge, I'll just set it up so if it gets there, I can short it in a big way. Put a little money and go 15, 20 times leverage on that one and just short it if it lets me. Okay. So at the moment, I think that's going to drop. But if it breaks it, that's the signal. You might just wake up and then try retest. That's when you're short. Might miss out, but that's the case. So let's clear this chart up. And just quickly have a quick look at Bitcoin. I don't want to lose track of it. Okay, so that's that little resistance. All right. So the next one, what about Dodge in general? Long term, mate, that's a bubble. I got no idea. That is a guess job. Fundamentally, it doesn't deserve to be this high. The fundamentals, it was an Australian guy who made Dodge, who forked Bitcoin to poke fun at it, to prove that even a shitcoin could go up. And I think it's that reason they picked it to push it up. That's my belief. They don't have a proper team to develop this long term. It's come up with a few things. It's turned into a smart contract platform as well, so that surprised me. But long term, mate, I'm no expert. I just go with the charts. I'd rather go with other more reputable projects. Have you guys heard of what we call Safe Moon? Safe Moon. Look it up. It's hard to get. It's going crazy. It's much more crazy than Dodge. Safe Moon. Look it up. There's only 2 exchanges at the moment that have it. I can't get my hands on it. What was it? Bit May. One, I think that's Bit May that does it. So Dodge is there. Let's get out Ripple. Yeah, we want to look at Ripple. Need to close some of these previous charts. No, not actually that will do. I'm on perp, no different. So you can see how when Ripple break that trend line, that was my trend line there in red. I'll put in red. When it broke that trend line, Ripple pretty much went down, right? And this is 30 minutes. So let's go to 4-hour chart. And just align. Come on. I'll get rid of the moving averages as well. Just makes it a bit harder to read. Let me put my template on that. All right. So looking at Ripple, I see there is a bullish divergence appearing there on the 4-hour. So for the short term, I think Ripple's going to go bullish long term. So that was the entry point there, perfect entry point. Let's get rid of that. Log, no, it is a log. So if I look at these, the MACD, it hasn't really, I like to see the MACD crossover on the 4-hour and all these signals as well. So currently sideways in the bearish section, is on the bottom half, XRP is holding its ground, and it's under, it's looking to do a reversal, but it's not there yet on the 4-hour. If I also look on the short term 1-hour, there is definitely a bearish divergence on the 1-hour. So if that was price there, you can see on the indicators that we have a bullish divergence So price is building. So what you want to see is in the next few hours, you want to see this MACD continually go up. And that will give you confidence. Maybe when MACD crosses the 0 level, that's your signal to jump in. But yeah, XRP is looking to have support there. And it was playing this channel. So let's see what it's doing here. Do we have a formation? Expanding wedge. Okay, in the making. Can't always trust that. But what we can see is, I think this is okay, so that's the daily 20 moving average. And it's found support on that. And it's likely to, so what we look at the 4 hour. Not too much strength in the bounce. So we have a few wicks and now this green candle. So we have another 35 minutes to see how this green candle closes. And that might be your entrance signal. Yeah, live Discord talk about my safe moon. Yes, I mentioned that. And I would put a bit of money on it if I could get my hands on it. But Uniswap, I think, as well. You might be able to get it. So let's see. So for now, if I was to put the Fibonacci on this, from the bottom to the top. So we didn't quite get to the 0.618. If I ignore those, yeah, so 0.5 is currently holding it, and the 20 moving average is holding it. So the 618 didn't come in, and that would have been a strong support. I would say this is, if it was to come down here, you'll buy it, but it hasn't come down. So it's possible that it's still looking to come down once it hits that, and then come down again, and that will be my buy zone. There you go, right there, and that's around $1.11. So $1.05 to $1.11 is my buy zone for Ripple. In terms of what will Ripple do long term with the bull market, no idea. All-time high was about $3. It's possible, but the conditions when we went $3 is very different to today. Today it's got much more competition. So that's my Ripple outlook. It's pretty much one move, two move, three, a continuation. So definitely major resistance, sell there, look for the pullback, and potentially re-enter. So the double top is going to be your main obstacle. If it was to find this as support, and I think it will, 0618 will be support, and you've got to gauge how much strength is in that. So, and you can't do it in an isolated way without considering what Bitcoin's doing, right? So that's my Ripple mindset at the moment, my thoughts on Ripple, and that looks positive. Please check coin and PLTR. Okay. We did Dodge and SafeMoon. I can't get access to SafeMoon on this. So if I was to do SafeMoon, it's there. I did it last time, but it's got this freaking error. So it's on Uniswap, but it's got this error. I don't know what it means. And that's all I get. So there's an error. So we can't get any data on SafeMoon. You need to go to other sources for SafeMoon. Please check coin. So the coin called Coin, is it? Okay, there is. That's new. It's going to be hard, isn't it? Is there more? If this coin is just the only one on this exchange, Let's see if there's any other coin views. Okay, so Bittrex might have a, maybe Bittrex has more history. Let's see. It's got nothing. Coin, FTX. No, that's not there. We don't have history. What's this one here? Coin, follow the link. No, that's not going to help. So the only one that we really have is FTX. And if I also use that, it's very difficult. I can't make really, actually. And the indicators pretty much here, they're confluent. They're not telling us anything. So it could go either way. So it's risk at your peril. Big reward if you get right, and you lose if you get wrong. This is what seems to be doing it. There's no real trend, so I can't really help, and there's no real history that can really give me a way of gauging this. So coin, the only way you can go with coin is fundamentals, is, you know, as a project. What do you think coin's going to do? Same Coinbase. Remember Coinbase? Coins on Coinbase. On FTX it doesn't show it. I mean, sorry, on TradingView it doesn't show it. So if I was to do coin, is it coin BTC? Maybe there might be more history there. No. Ah, okay. You're saying coin is Coinbase. As shares, is it? Coin is Coinbase shares. Okay. So you want me to look at that? So I did look at it today. My charts. Which one's this? Yeah, it is safe, man. Huh? Fuck, look at that. Now, it looks like a TradingView template, then why can't we get access to it? So looking at that, if I was to, can I maximize this? Let's see, maximize, there we go. Parabolic. And it's going to continue, I think. So if this is the base, that's base 1, base 2, base 3. There's going to be another base 4. This is going to, yeah, it's still going to go up just by looking at that. And if you look at my previous charts on parabolic structure, I can probably bring one here. Parabolic trends. So here's a good one. That's pretty much what I'm looking at. If it comes up, that structure there. So I don't have the, I do have drawing tools, don't I? Here we go. So this is definitely parabolic. If it lets me draw. No, it doesn't let me. Okay, it does let me draw. Come on. So this is parabolic. Just because it's steep, it doesn't mean it can't go up. It's almost going vertical, isn't it? And so if we count the base, some parabolics have actually 3 bases, not 4. But here I can see I could see 3 in already completed. So we're looking at the 4th base and then the topping off. It's a fantastic project. Okay. It's probably why, but I wish I'd known it before. Found out too late. Really. That's a killing, really. Look at that. It's like 9,000%, 10,000%. And yeah, might just I'm not sure how to buy it here, but I'll have a look later. But yeah, from volumes there, and it's getting a lot of media attention. So I think Dodge, it will just keep going. And I would like to see where it gets resistance as an entrance. So I would look for the pullback. You can take your chances with that, but I would look for a pullback for the base, the next base, and this is a 60 minutes. This is the hour chart, so this is late and going crazy. All right, so the media's doing a real good job on that. So anyway, that's my thoughts on safe move. Okay. Let me put that volume down a bit. Okay, well, that's what else comments we got. What you think about the following? There's a lot there, your shopping list. I'll get back to that. Let me say ETC and PLTR. All right, let's go in the order. PLTR. What's PLTR? Okay, these are shares, right? Stocks. Is that metals? Planter. So this tech. Okay. Okay. To me, this is just by the. It's not that old, is it? It's the only one I can see. I see this. This is your base, and pretty much buy zone at this point. I've seen something similar to this. That's a buy zone. Let's throw some Fibonacci onto that. So it's done the top, and if I was to ignore that wick and bring it down a bit, it's equal to 0.618. That is my buy zone for accumulation. I actually did a stock today. I think I posted it as well, and I'll use that as a comparison. Actually, no, I'll get this chart out itself. So just to give you an example, it's one of my case studies that I'm doing. So Dodge is not going down, guys. I thought it would drop, but it's actually going back up. So where are you? Yeah, so it's bouncing. Define. So this is my chart. If I can just adapt it. How about the floor? Oh, that's the weekly. Let's get the weekly. Just to make a point on the structure. All right. It's not exactly the same structure, but it has points I want to make. So this is I think it's an Indian company, and where are we? Here we go. See how price hits the top, and if we do a comparison, let's get those two together. This is very much similar. The way they both came from the appearing on the market, bit of a wedge downwards. This one had a similar triangle formation and then broke up and did its all-time high, similar to this, pull back to the support level, So this pullback is usually the deepest pullback, the first one, and then a double bottom and then up. So it's my opinion, just by looking at this, without knowing the fundamentals of the company and what it's doing, that this is the buy zone accumulation, and then it'll so it's starting to fit into a Wyckoff schematics type of formula. And to me, this seems like, without going into the company, it is support, and it might wick down a bit, just like this one. But rest assured, this is only daily, so this is one on the rise weekly, and I would expect it to, based on this, if I was to guess, let me do this, base, top, come on, not doing it, give a bit of a lag. I will look at, yeah, here we go. So I look at 51 cents, 52 cents as a first target, and then up to $62, sorry, not cents, $51 to 53, 51 to 53 as a first target, and then $62 the second target, and then it will drop, just by a number of assumptions. So that's my spin on that one. Okay, what have we got? I think I need to close a few windows. Just bear with me, guys, while I close a few browsers. Yeah, just trying to, I tend to leave a lot of windows open while I'm trading, and it's not good for my PC, just too much memory consumption. So I'm just going to close a few. Almost there. I just want to get my trading view profile back up, just see what's going on. And the streaming. And, okay. All right, so I'm looking good. All right, because I lost the questions as well. So we covered, all right, so the ETC, all right, let's do that. So there's the daily, okay. So ETC has done very well. To me, that looks like a topping off formation on the daily. So you've got massive rejections, two massive wicks, and then downward motion. So that is rejection long term. If we look at, let's look at ETC long term. Which one has the most history? Does Coinbase have much history? No, ETC used to be much lower than that. I remember buying it at $1 or $2. ETC, Bitfinex. So let's see, Bitfinex would have had more history. Yeah, there you go. I remember buying Ethereum at, I think it was $8. Yeah, so Ethereum was $8, and they found a flaw in it in the code, and it got attacked, and they forked it. And when they forked it, the old version was ETC. I remember that clearly, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand what was going on. So I had a bag of ETC and a bag of ETH, and I'm going, which one's a real Ethereum? Anyway, I worked it out, and that was down here. Actually, no, it wasn't down there. I come a bit late. But anyway, so Ethereum or ETC's done its all-time high. That's why it makes sense. You got rejected. There you go, double top. Okay. So how likely is this to continue on? Well, if the bull market continues, this is going to break that. It's reached its target for many reasons. I can use this method. Okay, that was a target using the inverted bar. That was a target. So if I was to say, if it breaks that, the only really macro thing I have here is this. So I don't. It's going to really struggle to pass the 1.618, which is there, which is about $75. So 1.618 golden ratio, it will struggle. Once it breaks that, I think they'll pull back the way it's doing it, like many of the alts. And how deep will it pull back? Well, we have strong support here for historical data along this line, which is close to the 0.618. If I was to move that there, so I would look for the pullback. I wouldn't buy now, that's for sure. I would wait for a deeper pullback. Let's go to the 4 hour. So when you look at that, let's get rid of, that's not 4 hour. Let's just get rid of the 4 hour color. So it's hit the 0.382 at the moment, which you expect a bounce. It really comes down to Bitcoin, what it's going to do, to tell the truth. If Bitcoin goes, if this bounces and Bitcoin drops, as I said, it's going to come down here. So this is a good buy zone. And you got this pause in the uptrend. So there'll be two levels, here and there, for ETC. I would not buy. I would wait for it to come down here and buy. That's ETC. Okay, let's look at BTT, Wink, Nano. I was trading Nano, so let's look at Nano. Haven't seen that for a while. Nano, nice formation, still doing well. Now let's look at the daily. Which exchange has the most Nano history? What we Kraken? No. Nano's older than 220. Coin. Okay, there you go. Good one. Yeah. So Nano's hit. It didn't actually quite hit that, did it? So I like the fact that it's curvature there up to that point. And when it broke that level, it just went crazy, right? It's got one, so if we count the whole thing, LE 1, 2, if that's 3, 4, yeah, 5 could be really high. So want to go along with Nano, we can use that. It's not really going to help me there. So besides the double top, so you're definitely going to get, so if we were to go along with Nano, this is definitely that's going to be resistance, the double top or all-time high. Definitely there, but this zone, this red one will be the first resistance. And if I was to find support, it'll be this level here. And it's already dropped below it. And the next level support, where these wicks are, yeah, so if I was to buy, I would look to buy in that zone there. That'll be my buy zone. It's an uptrend. So the formation's still there. So I'm looking at the third support level. And it could be, it looks like that's what's going to happen. A big macro structure. Although it went up, we need to see how this area supports it. But I think that's the level there for Nano, the buy area. So it's got a bit more to go down. I would patiently wait there for Nano. And it might go there for a while, sideways, tell the truth. But the percentage gain to do that, the first one is what? Oh, it's a lot, 150. Yeah, pretty much. So this $10 will be first resistance, second 159%, and the third is 260%. I won't try to guess after that, just need more information. But yeah, I do see that going higher if Bitcoin bull market still remains. So that's that. Okay, let's look at the comments. Watch explode soon on YouTube. Great tutorial for how to buy. Okay. It's Planeteer. Okay. Now, sorry, what price is the buy zone? Can't see the screen well. Look at the replay. Hopefully you guys can see it. Am I disconnected again? Come on, get back on. Sorry guys, but I'm not sure what's happening, but you should be able to see my screen. Do you analyze COT for Bitcoin? So do you analyze COT for Bitcoin? COT. So COT is a coin. Almost there. All right. What price zone to buy? Can't see your screen well. I'm not sure which coin you're talking about. So we're looking at Bitcoin. Let's go revisit. We don't want to completely not look at it. It looks like it's going up. As I said, it will to that area. There we go. So a bit of a little pull flag there, and up it's going. So let me look at my chart. Okay. Okay, now what's left? Come on, charts. It's really slow, guys. Sorry about this. I just want to look at, okay, looking at link. So links found support, double bottom there. Okay, so links got still, even though it did a deep pullback, it's still looking pretty good. So hold your link. It's not going down that easy. And based on that, so what we had with link is reaccumulation, which that was the base of the reaccumulation. Oh, sorry, the body in there. And we had the double bottom, and then it broke out, retested. Although it's coming back down, it's probably retesting this one here, this level here. And then it should keep going up with the assumption that Bitcoin doesn't stop us up. But yeah, you can see the bounce already. That's a 4-hour chart. There we go. I would say that is the buy zone. If you're patient, even here, I think Bitcoin, keep dropping a bit to this zone. This is the buy zone here, I think. You want to buy something cheap? I still believe Ethereum's Bitcoin's gonna pull back, so I think Link will come down to this level. A lot of history of resistance, therefore support. That's the accumulation area there. All right, let me look at what else have we got. Wink. Wink was another one that I want to look at. What's going on? My concept again. So that was the buy zone. It went below. So if I was to just delete this, it is very bearish now. What it's done is it lost the macro level. And so that acted as a resistance. Once price dropped below it. So when Win had a good run, as you can see, and when this was its chance to continue on and it failed, now it found resistance and it got pulled back. Now, is it pulling back a long way? Well, let's look at where it is at the moment. Yeah, so it's already pulled back a fair bit to the 786. I would say it will be in this range, 618 to here. It'll go sideways for a while. So I would not buy this. It's broken, as I said. It's actually, did it regain? This is the bottom level. It needs to regain that. I would be interested once it regains that and hits this level and pulls back and then then it's accumulation again. But so it was trying to do the accumulation. It's finding that as a resistance. I will not enter until I see that break and then come back and retest it. So what I'm looking at is pretty much this. Then I'll be interested. And that potentially maybe a cut, who knows? But at the moment, it's in the bearish zone, and there's a lot of things going against it. You can see the 10 and the 20 moving average on the daily is also going to play against it, and there could be a big chance that it goes down more. So that's win. And here's Dodge, if anyone's interested. Dodge, I would think if Dodge breaks this, I will not enter Dodge. I still see a bit of downward pressure, but if Dodge was to hit this, break above it, then I'll enter. I'll see that's the target for Dodge. All right, let's look at Ethereum again once more. I think I'm going to wrap it up soon. And that's pretty much it. So Ethereum's holding its ground. Let's look at the 4-hour. I can see that I had the old one there. So this is the buy zone for Ethereum, in my opinion. This level for Ethereum is a buy zone. There is a bearish scenario where if Ethereum breaks that, then we're going to retest this. So it is possible, depending on Bitcoin, that it comes down here and tests this trend line, which we had. And if it was to break that trend line, I would say exit. Okay, because this trend line is very, very specific. It's validated a long time. So if price was to come down there, it opens the door for further downs. And really, it comes down to this: you've got to keep an eye on Bitcoin. But for the time being, this is my buy zone, and it's just below $2,000. And we didn't think it would revisit, but we did, and that was the target, and he hit it. So I'm looking at a big macro structure forming here, some reaccumulation structure, whatever that is. This is going to be the base for that reaccumulation, and potentially just continue on. If Bitcoin is not to pull back deep, that will be a good scenario for Ethereum. But at this point, I don't think that's the case. If I look at Ethereum, I think Ethereum against Bitcoin has done its target. I didn't mention it today. I think it's done its. I think this is the top against Bitcoin, Ethereum, in this cycle. So I'm expecting a pullback. So yeah, so here there's confluence there as well for Ethereum. Not 100%, but that is pretty much the top, I think, and that was based on this structure here. So if I expand that, this line shows me that this acted as support. So it was retested once it broke this local level. So we had this local level, and once that broke, it retested this level, and then it went up. So this trend line is very important. The trend line started from there, hence that's the target. If it starts from there, based on the inverted bar, that's where it ends up. I'm expecting a drop back on the pairing to this level, which is pretty much an entrance point to go back up more. So yeah, I do see Ethereum dropping. Could be wrong, but I'm using this methodology to say that's the top. And I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I'm a bit tired. Hopefully that helps a few of you out in your quest for answers. And if you think I didn't answer anything, look at the video from the beginning to the end, because I did cover Bitcoin extensively and the scenarios and what I think will happen. And also really going to be dependent on that. In the short term, I do believe the alts will be moving while Bitcoin slowly gains momentum in that range, and then potentially goes to the upside for another rejection. But anyway, it's all recorded. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for I suppose interacting with the questions. I like the interaction with you guys, and hopefully it helps you out. And stay tuned for tomorrow, potentially another live stream. Have a good day. Cheers.